You know, Anisha, as much as we see all those celebrations happening right outside the Varanasi District Court and even the Gyanvapi complex, we heard the petitioner's lawyer, Mr. Jain, who said that this is entirely a temple that was demolished and a mosque was built. Even if it was in the Mughal area, we don't care. We want to reclaim our lost heritage. So they're insistent that they want this mosque to go, and gates must be opened up for a temple just like what we saw in Ayodhya. These are the sweeping statements some of them are making, including the lawyer himself. Do you believe that this appeal, asking for that entire mosque to be moved out and for a temple to be coming up, will be something that could echo in court in the near future?
Well, as we've just been talking, Nabila, we just spoke to Nityanand Rai also, who's also one of the lawyers. There is a very distinct difference between demanding that the mosque should be removed and the entire premises should be handed back to Baba Bholenath, and what is happening today, which is that the devotees should be allowed to go and worship Ma Shrinagar Gauri. So yes, very seriously, we are seeing sweeping statements being made, massive demands being made about a need for a complete change in what is happening there. But we need to remember, Nabila, on a legal front at least, of course, those demands are sentimental demands, they're emotional demands, they're even political demands. But on the legal front, the court is on a very, very limited point at this moment, Nabila. And what we need to, this is something that we need to be very careful about when we are talking about what has happened today. It is a big win for the women devotees of Ma Shrinagar Gauri. The larger issue of whether the entire mosque will be removed, whether the entire premises will be given back to Baba Bholenath is not being heard by the courts at all at this moment. That matter is pending before the High Court. That matter is still on the issue of maintainability, where the High Court is considering this matter. So we need to make a very clear distinction between these two. But of course, for the devotees, for even the lawyers, it is a sense of celebration, because they believe that now that the court has agreed to hear the matter with regard to access to Shrinagar Gauri, this could then also be a springboard, a step ahead to for the courts to start looking into the issue of giving back the entire temple premises. But then again, we will have to see,
Anisha,
wait and see what the court actually
absolutely
does.
Have you so far, have you heard from the Anjuman Intezamia? Have they responded after the court's verdict? What were their plans to take this forward?
Well, Nabila, I personally have not been able to speak to the lawyers, but our reporters in the field, one of our stringers has been able to speak to one of the lawyers on the phone. They have been saying that they will be approaching the High Court as soon as the detailed order copy is available. Of course, we've been discussing this since the morning, that it is not a case that will end quietly. It is not a case that will end quickly even, because but we are still trying to get an official comment from the Anjuman Intezamia Mosque Committee on what their next step is going to be.
Hoping to appeal this at a higher court, yeah?
Well, of course, that is what the next step will be. That is legally and logically what their next step will be. And in fact, when we spoke to them yesterday and this morning as well, we did get a sense of the idea that both sides have said that the legal process will take its toll. The legal process will continue as it will, because this verdict has come in the favor of the Hindu petitioners. It is very clear that the next step available to the Muslim petitioners, to the Anjuman Intezamia, is to approach the High Court in appeal against the district judge's order. And when that happens, what happens there is something we'll have to wait and watch.
So now, Anisha, we are assuming that the next step for the district court in Varanasi is to open up that sealed package of the survey done by the ASI. Is that right? Will the survey report now be opened up for full public view?
Well, I'm not sure about full public view, Nabila, but most certainly the court will open up that report. The court will take into account what has happened there, because remember, the next step now is going to be for the court to appreciate the evidence that is in place. So the court will have to open up that report. It will have to give copies of the report to both sides, the Hindu side and the Muslim side. Then they will have to invite objections to that report, whatever either party has to say in comment upon what has been found on that report.
Yeah.
After that, after giving them a certain amount of time to give their opinion, their comments on the report itself. That is when the court will then start hearing the arguments from both sides on what actually exists there, what is being asked for, and what can be given by the court. Because remember, Ramila, these are three very separate questions legally. What is being asked for, what is actually there, and what can the court actually grant are legally very distinct questions. Even though on the ground, if you see right now, we're just across the road from the court premises, and even now outside the court premises, there is a lot of celebration, there is a sense of achievement, there is a sense among the people that what they want for the temple premises is being given to them. But legally, we'll have to caution our viewers that right now it is only a preliminary step that has happened. The court has agreed to hear the women devotees. It has not, in fact, said that the temple will be given over. That is something that will happen if it happens after a long legal battle. So we need to be very cautious when we're talking about what has happened today. It is, of course, a big win that the court is hearing this matter. But from hearing the matter to getting the temple back is a long battle that still needs to be fought.
All right, Anisha, I'm going to take some of the reactions, Anisha, but I will come back to you, of course, to give us an understanding again once more, another round on what exactly the court observed while saying that the Hindu side plea is maintainable. On what basis have they declared it maintainable? But before that, taking you through reactions right after the court's verdict came out, the joyous comments.
आज कोर्ट ने हमारे आज कोर्ट ने हमारे सारे आर्गुमेंट्स को मान लिया है। मुस्लिम पक्ष की एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट कर दी है। प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट की उनकी जो प्ली थी उसको खारिज कर दिया है। वक्फ एक्ट की प्ली को खारिज कर दिया है। कोर्ट ने कहा है कि सूट मेंटेनेबल है। अब इस मामले की अगली सुनवाई 22/9 को होगी और एविडेंस लीड की जाएगी। इशूज
मुझे लग रहा है कि सनातन धर्म में जो विश्वास है और जो उन्होंने किया है, न्यायालय ने सब कुछ पूरी चीजों की छानबीन करके किया है और इसलिए मैं उस न्यायालय का जो निर्णय है उसका स्वागत करता हूं पूरी तरह से। और
ट्वीट भी किया है उसके लिए।
हाँ, ट्वीट किया है। कंकड़ कंकड़ मेरा शंकर, मैं काशी हूं, मैं काशी हूं, मैं काशी हूं, मैं काशी हूं। ये काशी अविनाशी होता है, इसलिए सबका कल्याण करने वाला काशी है।
मुस्लिम पक्ष ये कह रहा है कि वो ऊपरी कोर्ट में जाएंगे जो उनके खिलाफ फैसला है।
देखो, ये भारतीय संस्कृति का, ये सांस्कृतिक उत्थान के लिए जितने भी हैं, चाहे काशी हो, चाहे मथुरा हो, अयोध्या, मथुरा, माया, काशी, कांची, अवंतिका, पूरी द्वारावती, चाहे वह सप्तेता मोक्षदायिका, ये सभी मोक्षदायिका हमारी संस्कृति है भारत की और इसमें किसी भी वर्ग को हम चोट नहीं पहुंचा रहे हैं। ये और उसके लिए किसी को समझना कि हम किसी वर्ग पर आहत कर रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं। हम सबको लेके चलने वाले हैं। हमारे हिंदू मुसलमान भाई हमारे सभी लोग भाई हैं।
हिंदू पक्ष काफी खुश है इस बात को लेकर।
मुझे लग रहा है खुश होना स्वाभाविक है कि जो हमारी संस्कृति थी वो कहीं न कहीं उस पर पर्दा डाल दिया था, उस पर दबाव जो पहले पड़ा और उसके कारण जो हमारी संस्कृति को विनिष्ट किया, चाहे जिन लोगों ने किया, तो आज तो स्वाभाविक है कोर्ट का जो निर्णय आया तो हिंदू पक्ष और सनातन धर्मावलंबियों के लिए खुश होने में लेकिन कोई कठिनाई नहीं है इसमें।
हिंदू पक्ष इस बात को लेकर के खुश है। अश्विनी चौबे भी ये कह रहे हैं कि जो फैसला आया है उसको लेकर के वो काफी खुश हैं और इनका ये कहना है कि इस बात को देखते हुए वो अब आगे बढ़ेंगे। कैमरामैन नासिर के साथ जितेंद्र सिंह, आज तक।